I tried to keep expectations in check for this first episode of Attack on Titan's final season. Clearly, I didn't need to. Hello, listeners, and welcome to A Dash of Salt with AJ. I'm your host, Ahsoka Jackson, author, poet, podcaster, and freelance proofreader. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. I will be all over the place today. I was absolutely losing it watching the episode. I'm still so excited, and there's so much to comment on. So I'm just going to be scattered trying to get all of these thoughts out. By the way, I'm still doing the rest of the trailer reaction episodes. They're just going to be delayed some so that I can keep up with the coverage of the show itself now that the new season has begun. So, let's talk about this episode and some of the different things that caught my eye. First off, I love how they started with that imagery of birds and that focus on the sky, and how Falco was having these thoughts going through his mind. It's very much a parallel to how the very first season began with Eren and his dreams and the birds flying through the sky. There's also something about that which I'd say connects to the Season 5 opening, which is one of my absolute favorite Attack on Titan songs, and connects to this final season to an insane degree, let me tell you. Okay, so let me see, what else? Gabi had a deeper and more mature voice than I was expecting, even after I had heard a little bit of it in the trailer. I noticed they've tweaked the visual style as well here. I really like the current version of Falco, even better than the style they used for the trailer. And now I can say what I couldn't in the trailer reaction episodes due to spoilers. I had never read the whole battle of Fort Slava, but I had read Chapter 91 and seen that sequence with Gabi. And based on her actions there, and also these very mixed reactions I saw from people in response to her in the trailer, I got the sense that she would be kinda awesome and kind of a little son of a gun. Like the move she did of pretending to be a suffering civilian was super clever, but also ruthless and possibly a war violation. And just conceptually, I hate the bad position that places actual civilians in, plus how it takes advantage of the enemies showing any decency and compassion and stuff. Though I noticed they tried to at least not make the opponents seem that good. They still kept talking about shooting her, though on balance, they also still hesitated. Additionally, I get the sense that she's someone who could have been an awesome character, like as an ally, but is too stubborn and bullheaded to listen, and she'll just remain unrepentantly defiant. Like some of the imagery in the trailer looks like people from our team are going to try and rescue them, probably because they'll think these children are, civilians in need of aid, but that Gabi is the type who wouldn't listen to any talk of friendship. Speaking of which, that makes me think of how impactful Chapter 91 was for me. I never expected to have my perspective so completely and quickly flipped. I'd really despise the Titans who were busy trying to destroy Paradis on behalf of the Marleyans, betraying fellow Eldians to gain personal benefits. I'd really thought of them as being akin to Yunartha. But then, just in hearing what Gabi said and realizing that they had been horribly lied to in much the same way that the people of Paradis had been taught false history, it immediately changed my perspective. And it also made everything so sad. Gabi is actually fighting on behalf of her people. She genuinely believes that, at least. She thinks that she's actually fighting truly evil people, and that by doing so she can improve the lives of her people who live within Marley and are being horribly mistreated by them still. She's trying to free the Eldians. She's ruthless, but not what I'd initially thought of the Eldians who served Marley. So really, the same thing has been happening on both sides. I've got Forgive Them Father by Lauryn Hill playing in my head right now, Eren and his comrades from the first 3 seasons fought so much to free the people of Paradis and protect them from the Titans, only to find out that the Titans were actually transformed humans. And not only that, but Eldians who'd actually been trying to free the Eldians within Marley. And now we have Gabi and her comrades positioned as enemies to fellow Eldians they should be allied with. It's crazy, and so painful and tragic, and honestly kind of horrifying. And then seeing the way both the Mid-East Alliance forces and the Marleyans themselves treated and regarded the Eldians. Wow. I actually called it when Falco rescued the enemy soldier and he replied in a foreign language. I figured he was saying Eldian devils or something of the sort. Another thing I have to address here is the animation. The animation looks beautiful. There's definitely a very different feel about it, but I think it's going to enhance things here. There's just something about it. maybe the slightly more realistic and less stylized look. I feel like it's going to fit so well for this season and just emphasize and drive home that intensity and that super grim feeling. Because, I mean, this is already very dark, gritty, and depressing as a series, which, if you've watched the first 3 seasons. And yet, this season manages to take it to a whole other level. Not even just level, another plane of operating, really. I can safely say that even as an anime mostly, I know enough to know that. So you thought the first 3 seasons crushed your hearts? You ain't seen nothing yet. There's a reason that people keep insisting that anime-only fans are not ready for this. Heck, manga readers are saying that even they're not ready for it, even after having read the story. They're still not ready to see this all animated with the music and the soundtrack and sound effects and the voice acting and everything else. And for me, it was also part of the point of, wanting to wait for the anime rather than reading ahead. And I honestly wish I had avoided spoilers more than I did, because to see stuff like this for the first time, and to see it in animated form, to have your first viewing of it be with, this full production, it's just going to be something. It's going to be truly incredible. Especially just based on the fact that even stuff I had seen before is even more amazing seeing it now. I mean, just, just looking at it animated, the way it was animated just took it to a whole other level. And people have already complained some about the CGI Titans and all that, but I think it worked so well. Mappa did an amazing job in this first episode. They both introduced the new characters, and especially Titans, so well, and just had them, knock us over, and they brought back our familiar characters in ways that were just magnificent. The Beast Titan looks creepy and evil as heck. Peak also looks wonderfully creepy and eerie and sort of supernatural as well. Reiner? Oh, Reiner killed me, man. The way they animated him, and especially that charge into the train, that part was perfect. The way it was animated captured the exact feel of what it was like when I first saw Reiner attack and break through the wall at the very beginning of Season 1. The movement, the way they slowed the motion down, it captured that feeling uncannily well. It was like I was reliving that moment. And just with the first episode of Season 1, it made me think of the mythological Titans, basically gods, majestic beings operating intelligently and with this overwhelming and menacing power. And the thing is, Mappa has a crazy amount of stuff taking place in this first episode and going on screen, all this action. If they needed to use CGI, they picked great ways to use it. And I thought the normal, or pure Titans, as people call them, maybe felt different, yes, but I felt that the vibe from them just enhanced their usual creepiness, and I loved that sense of just swarming the place with them. Time's getting a little tight, so I'll end it right here. But we're not done yet. I still have more to say about the characters, especially the Titans, and also what my hopes are for this season now that Mappa is picking up where Wit Studio left off. In the meantime, I hope you had fun today. And if you're enjoying the podcast, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, share, or review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Radio Public, social media, or whichever platform you use to listen. I especially look forward to hearing your comments, theories, and questions related to Attack on Titan. Be blessed and stay salty.